So peep game. This is 9. I recorded a video yesterday on the Becky Hammon shit. I was kind of walking. I didn't like it. I didn't like what I covered a lot, but I think I need to do better, right? And I want you all to understand. Here's what they're not telling you. Here's what they're not discussing about this Becky Hammon shit, right? Okay, because the crazy part is Becky Hammon knows what she's doing, right? She knows. She went viral over the Jalen Brunson thing. She understands that the words she used pretty much at the time was to trigger Knicks fans, and she's playing that game now with the guys up. The Knicks haven't won anything yet. They haven't won a win, and they haven't won a championship yet. And this is the problem, right? This is the problem. Becky Hammon might be a little beat up or worried or a little spiteful that she hasn't got a NBA head coaching job yet, right? But this whole incident, this whole situation proves why she only deserves to hold the clipboard. Meaning she only deserves what? Second, third chair at best? Maybe first chair, maybe. No, you know what? She doesn't. She does not even deserve to have first chair assistant coach. She doesn't. Because if the whole trope that she's pulling out and she believes it, then it tells you she's unqualified to be a successful head coach. Hell, even a successful top assistant who would, in the event that the head coach couldn't do his duties, would step into the interim coaching role. She doesn't deserve it. And this is the thing, right? She's proven that she's not good at either job. I make these videos. I make my videos, and for those who watch it, they watch it. For those who don't, you're missing out on something. You're missing out on, and I'm not. Look, I don't may have the great presentation and all that. Forget all that. I speak basketball, and I challenge people to speak better basketball. That's what I want on my channel. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people will see my, they'll see my little posts, community posts with pictures, memes and shit like that. They won't read the caption, right? Like the last one I put up about Karl-Anthony Towns coming into the conference finals, basically being number one in everything, almost everything, statistically and advanced stats coming into the playoffs. No one read the post that I was not. I still was not saying he was better than Tim Duncan. But the point of the post that I made was to prove that hell, he is one hell and one talented player. Okay? So to sit there and act like he's not, I get it. Trust me, every criticism of Karl-Anthony Towns I've given already. But see, that's what I'm saying. I challenge people to be better. Basketball, people don't read. People don't like. They don't want to hear long form content. But okay, so what Becky does is especially for someone which is crazy, especially for somebody who has aspirations to be an NBA head coach one day, is you fall on lazy tropes. You fall on bad, lazy tropes. Okay? That the small guard can't win in today's, which just doesn't make sense. Historically, we all seen Steph Curry pretty much change the game. We've seen Steph Curry change the game. All right? He's a small guard. See, now they getting slick and saying, well, he has to be 6'2" and under. Okay, Gus Williams. Gus Williams from the Sonics in '79. Is he not an outlier? See, this is the problem with Becky Hammon. The guard has now taken over. For the most part, most teams, best player, lead guard guy is a guard. I bet you she wouldn't be saying this if Tyrese Maxey who's about 6'2", 6'3" himself, was the lead guard of a team, or team was headed to the conference finals, right? Oh yeah, he has Joel Embiid. Oh, I'm sorry. Does Jalen Brunson not have Karl Anthony Towns? And see, understand this. Who cares if he's the leading scorer, right? Bob Cousy on 2 or at least 3 of the championships was the second leading scorer for the Celtics in the playoffs. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? It's a old lazy trope. It just so happens that throughout history, most point guards were more facilitators than scorers anyway. Most point guards under 6'3" did not average over 20. They didn't have the green light. Now, in today's NBA, and this is the key part to understand, in today's NBA, they do have that green light. So since they do have that green light, now the idea that a small guard cannot win a championship is just a passé thought process. It's passé. It doesn't mean anything anymore. It does not mean anything anymore. Because the game has went more perimeter basis. And Jalen Brunson, the funny part about it is, when you say this, Becky Hammon, and I get, they would, this chick cannot be, and I'm sorry, I used to respect her as the point guard for my favorite WNBA team, the New York Liberty. Feisty, good, good floor distributor, the whole nine. She must be ornery, and then she's gaslighting and playing people as if they're stupid. Now again, you're a woman who had aspirations of being the first female head coach in NBA history. Did you not? I'm sure you did. Yes, you did. And yet you don't know that it has become more of a perimeter league. And that's not to say that, I mean, see, let's go. Let's reset it on this, right? The question asked of her, well, could the Knicks be contenders in the East? So now the goalpost is moved. She's not proven wrong. She's not proven wrong if the Knicks don't win an NBA championship. You see that gaslighting? Y'all can allow that to happen. But that gaslighting nonsense is the problem in NBA talking circles, man. It really is. That gaslighting nonsense she's doing is the problem in NBA talking circles. Because she knows what she's saying. Yet she's being ignorant with her thought process anyway. Very ignorant, very passé, very outdated. Jalen Brunson right now, and this is the thing, if you're going to sit there and say it, right, because whether you're being the aspiring head coach or the ESPN or whatever analyst, and I get maybe she's not in either role, but she can still be a basketball mom. And this is the thing, right? This is why she probably didn't pass the interview process. Because, I'm sorry, the chick doesn't realize where the game has gone. And if you don't understand where the game has gone, if you want to talk a historical perspective and talk about 1989, Gus Williams in 1979 has nothing to do. Has nothing, not one thing to do with basketball in 2026. Therefore, has nothing to do with Jalen Brunson. But yet, Gus Williams proves you wrong. Tiny Archibald proves you wrong. Even though he wasn't the leading scorer, they don't have a dude. Brunson has been all NBA. You mean tell me all NBA players are not dudes? You mean tell me all NBA players cannot lead you or help you to the championship? Usually they can. I get maybe not all 15 guys that make it, but when you have enough of those, when you've been there multiple times, she's already been proven wrong. And you go to the trope that if SGA was 6'2", she probably would have never said it because it was OKC, right? Again, remember, it was Becky Hammon, former New York Liberty point guard, right? playing on ESPN to play that troll Knicks fans room. But she's saying something, and again, if they're able to get you to say something that goes against your core understanding and thought process of the game, then already you deserve what you get. You don't. It's not misogyny or anything else that has not allowed Becky Hammon to become an NBA head coach. It's her, I guess, not understanding today's modern game. She can't be a leader of men, not because she's a woman, because she's not even fucking accountable. I'm gonna say that again. She can't be a leader of men, not because she's a woman, because she's not even fucking accountable. She's not accountable and won't even say, you know what, God damn it. This kid listen, he is leading the league, the playoffs in points in the paint. He's leading the playoffs in points in the paint. He has been the best player in the playoffs. You can sit there and talk about Wemby. Wemby will have a good game one game and a bad game the next. Jalen Brunson has not had a bad game. The 19 and 14 was when he had a bad. That's what you could consider a bad game. That was the last time he had a bad game. Imagine that. 19 points, 14 assists, and that's his bad game. This is where they fuck up, man. This is where they fuck up. And, you know, she should do better. She should know better. She should see better. But again, playing that, I mean, let's just talk basketball. She had a chance yesterday to talk basketball. Just say, you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong. You know what? Small guards can lead teams, and it's been proven. I'm like, give a fuck about who you think. First of all, there's nothing that shows. There's no metric, especially considering what's going on in the playoff. See, the problem is, right? Okay, they're gonna have home court advantage because of what they did in the regular season, right? The two teams from the West. But show me how they're the best two teams in the NBA. Because we all know that a couple of threes here and there, OKC goes 0-3 against the Knicks. Again, we're assuming because it was a basketball game played that the NCAA Cup Finals count, right? So there's 3 games where the Knicks matched up with the San Antonio Spurs, with both teams going all out to win those games. So you can't sit there and say, oh, it was just regular season. You see what happens with these people who talk stupid, the Becky Hammons of the world? See, you need to talk like an NBA prospective head coach, or at least a good NBA analyst. You didn't talk like either. Neither. You didn't talk like either. And that's the problem. That's the problem. That's what people are expecting. You didn't talk like... Dawn Staley, I would hire. She probably knows. She wins. Becky Hammon she's good enough to hold a clipboard. She's good enough to be on someone's staff. She's not good enough to be an NBA head coach, and it proves it. This proves it. You're not a great analyst. I mean, again, if you want to play the troll game because that's what they paid you on ESPN to do, that's fine. They didn't ask you as an ESPN analyst. I saw her talking in some gym. So who knows what she's doing now? And again, I don't have no ill will towards her career and goals and aspirations. She's not an NBA head coach. Because again, sitting there and telling me that Jalen Brunson, you wouldn't want first of all, you say I would love a Jalen Brunson on my team. I would love a Jalen Brunson on my team. See, look, Jalen Brunson had to be coached up, right? He had to learn to share the ball more. He had to learn just not even share the ball more, but just move the ball. It's all going to come back to you. And the Cleveland game proved it, the game 1. And then the rest of the series was like water. See, they didn't tell you any of that. She doesn't tell you any of that. She's not taking her. She had a chance to take her coach hat, take the troll hat off, take the ESPN paid troll hat off, and put the coach hat on. And she failed. That's the problem. She failed. Because again, if you're a coach, you understand it ain't about it's positionless basketball now. Your 1 through 5 can all get 25 points. There was a time when small guards, you're right, did not get 25 points. Hell, Michael Jordan was one of the few guys at shooting guard that could win scoring titles. You had to be about 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" to win scoring titles. Michael Jordan, 6'6", 6'5", was able to dominate the league. That in itself was a change. But that was in the 80s to 1998. We're 28 years later, and you're relying on tropes that the small guard can't win anything. And again, that's the other thing. I'll get into that win anything because NBA championships are bust, right? For a lot of it. I get it, but it's like, come on, man. Show me you can talk basketball. The whole world is not built around NBA rings. Like, there's levels to it. You're going to sit there and tell me that Robert Horry is better than Dominique Wilkins because of rings, then you're stupid. I'm going to say it again. You're going to tell me that Robert Horry is better than Dominique Wilkins because of rings, then you're stupid. Look, for the Knicks to win a ring, and this is the thing, they have to have the best team. This is where she throws in the best teams are in the West. Again, not proven. Not proven. Last I checked, Knicks were 18-12 against the West. The Knicks beat every team in the West, I believe, except OKC. Every other team, all other 14 teams, they beat Utah. They beat the brakes off of Utah. Then the second game, they had to look. Knicks went through some ups and downs like any other team. They went through ups and downs in the playoffs. Again, when they played the San Antonio Spurs in March, they won by 25, and that was the only game within a couple of months that they haven't lost a game. See, think about this. The Knicks haven't lost a game in over a month. By the time we played June 3rd, even if the Knicks lose, it'll be their first loss since April the 23rd. You're talking about 40 days without a loss. So when we played OKC, they had lost other games, but they lost when Wemby sat out. And that was the only game they lost in 26 games where Wemby played basketball, or Wemby played. The only game. The Knicks. And Knicks didn't survive them. The Knicks didn't survive them. They won by 25. Yes, in the Garden. It was on my birthday, March 1st, on the Sunday. The Knicks won by 25. They won by 25. But now, I'm to believe that the Knicks don't stand a chance. The Knicks can't even play with San Antonio and OKC. Not buying it. Yeah, the Knicks are 0-4 in the last 2 years since they got Hartenstein. Yeah, to both games. Both games were close games till the fourth quarter. And then the bevy of foul. See, this is the bevy of foul calls, especially drawn by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Alexander. You know, I'm not even mad at those outcomes because as shown you, if the Knicks had beaten OKC, they still wouldn't have got credit for it. No one gave the Knicks credit for beating the brakes off of San Antonio. So the Knicks wouldn't have got credit for beating OKC. It's funny because it's anti-Knick trolling. And that's the thing, Becky Hammon. This is a conversation. See, B, I get it. You know, she's a player. Therefore, she has every right to be competitive in nature. So she don't want to relent. She don't want to relent to the I told you so's. She don't want to hear it. But you got to sound smart. If you again, I don't know if it's her goal. That's the thing, right? Maybe I'm wrong to assume that it's her goal to be an NBA head coach one day. still. But you have to sound smart. You have to sound accountable. You have to know. You have to show the people or the prospective owners or the prospective GMs that you know how the game is played today. It's not played with big, thinking that the small guard can't lead a team. Team that hires you either wants to win a championship or wants to progress towards a championship. You had a chance to say, you know what, in the 2 years I've said it, the Knicks have progressed a lot. They built up the roster. Many things you could have said that would have shown that, hey, okay, maybe I learned something. I learned something. I was wrong. Accountability. If you're not accountable, then how the fuck can you be an NBA head coach? Like I said, it ain't misogyny that kept her from getting her job. It's a lack of accountability. I guarantee you, shit like that played out. You got to be a leader of men. You got to be a leader of men, and that's no disrespect to women's basketball. I think these girls went hard. They know that she ain't been a WNBA head coach either, or has she? And if she was, it ain't like she stayed. I mean, Bill Laimbeer was coach of the Detroit Shock for a minute, wasn't he? He coached one of them damn teams, and he was there for like 8 fucking years. If she was a WNBA head coach, she ain't last long there. That's why her dumb ass was on ESPN. I'm getting nasty now. That's why her dumb ass was on ESPN trolling Knicks fans. That's the job you wanted, I guess. It's the job you got. It's the only job you'll get. Look, who am I who am I, right? But I am going to criticize, and I am going to see through the bullshit in the media, because I'm judging her as a media, but I'm then relaying it to what she was as a prospective coach. Again, that's got to be a turnoff. You can't even be accountable for a bad take, for a take that's proven to be passe. It's passe. The idea that small guards can't lead your team is just not viable. It's not viable to say anymore. It's not a viable take, because they have, and they do lead teams. They just want to just let a team to the NBA Finals. So right off the bat, you can't sit there and be like, oh, being going to the NBA Finals mean. Again, you remember what the original question was? It was, what can the Knicks be contenders in the East at the time? Or the Knicks stuck in the middle? That was the question. And you said he can't be a 1A. He's been a 1A. He's been a 1A. He had 141 MVP votes. That wasn't enough to win, but he had 100. That's damn sure enough to prove that you're a fucking 1A. Even to get one proves that you're a 1A. But again, they're so ready to lie to you. They're so ready to lie to you. They're so ready to troll. She didn't stand on her square. She did not. She did not. She played victim and was unaccountable for a bad take. And that's all it is. It's a bad take. It's a bad take. And like I said, it proves that she's both a bad analyst and not head coaching material. Because if you don't understand the game and the way it's played, why do I want you coaching my team? Why on earth would I want you coaching my team? Mike Brown, shout out to Mike Brown, was brought in here with crazy, like this probably his last chance to be an NBA head coach. And he was brought in with crazy expectations. Either you'll get to the finals or you're fired. Or we're going to go another direction. So you got one. We're giving you 3-4 years or whatever the hell he got from on the deal. They give him 1 year to win a championship. What a good, and it's proven. This is the thing. What has been proven is that the Knicks have an outstanding roster. You could have talked about that, Becky. You could have talked about that. You could have put one of them hats on, but you chose, and this is the problem. You chose to play victim and be unaccountable. Why you knew they were coming at you. I said it 2 years ago. Okay. You said it 2 years ago on television. You don't take those things seriously? You don't take when people come up to you, the woman that aspired to be the first female head coach in NBA history? You don't aspire to sound wise? To sound like you know what the hell is going on in today's modern current game? Interesting. Very interesting. But it is what it is. Like I said, I mean, this is not me. It's not me. Like, I already know. I know. The thing is, I know better. I'm smarter. Or I'm not sure I'm trying to act like, okay, I got the X's and O's and I got the experience and this, that, and the third. That's not my point. But I know better than the bullshit they try to sling to you on television. Again, unaccountable, past dated nonsense. It's not LOL Knicks. What the Knicks are doing, and this is the thing, what the Knicks are doing in the playoffs is unprecedented. It's unprecedented. No team has closed out, and again, the first one wasn't a sweep, but no team has closed out 3 playoff series. Like you go back and look what the Lakers did to the Spurs back in 2001, and that's obviously great competition, right? Obviously great competition. The Knicks didn't beat great competition. I can agree with that. They didn't beat great competition. They beat good teams. And they beat good teams and they stomped the mud shit out of good teams. They won by 37 to close the season. They won, okay, first one they won by 51. Second game they won by 30. Third game they won by 37. That's a combined, do the math in your head, that's a combined 118 points. That's damn near 40 fucking points a game. No team has done that in NBA playoff history. And you can't sit there and tell me that the Hawks are the worst first round opponent. You can't tell me that the Philadelphia 76ers with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and BJ Escom and Paul George was the worst second round opponent. And you can't tell me that the fucking Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that's won 116 games in the past 2 years, with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, and the reigning defensive player of the year. I know what's his name got it this year, but last year he was reigning defensive player of the year. You can't tell me that team was the worst conference finalists ever. You can't tell me that. Trust me, I've seen a lot worse. So at the end of the day, man, listen, man. Again, I guess there's gonna be a lot of nervous energy for the next six days until game 1. All right. Gonna be a lot of nervous energy. Gonna be a lot of thumb twiddling. But what we not gonna do is let bullshit. And like I said, I don't let lies and nonsense go uncalled out. I'm gonna call it out. I'm gonna call it out relentlessly. All right, y'all. Peace.